Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most interesting real-life inspirations for your favourite Beatles songs.
You're only waiting for this moment to be free.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Here Comes the Sun.
Here comes the sun. Do-do-do. Here comes the sun. I say.
This George Harrison composition is a musical embodiment of joy. Harrison somehow captured the visceral beauty of a sunrise. A song that celebrates the end of the dark, cold winter months. It may not come as a total surprise to learn that the quiet Beatle was in something of a dark place when he wrote it.
Here comes the sun. I say, it's alright.
In his autobiography, I, Me, Mine, Harrison mused that, in 1969, the spark had gone out of his songwriting, saying that Apple was getting like school, where we had to go and be businessmen, sign this and sign that. Attempting to break free of that corporate monotony, Harrison wrote the song while walking around Eric Clapton's garden and noodling around his guitar.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river.
Folks, for what seems like the millionth time, this trippy Sgt. Pepper's cut is not about LSD, the drug, that is. We're admittedly not sure we can take John Lennon at his word when considering his claim that he was inspired by his son Julian.
Look for the girl with the sun in her eyes and she's gone.
As the elder Lennon's story goes, Julian presented his father with a drawing of a classmate, with a caption that would later serve as this song's title. As for the song's lyrical content, Lennon asserted that he was inspired by the writing style of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Sure, John, LSD had nothing to do with it.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Sexy Sadie.
Sexy Sadie, what have you done?
The Beatles' trip to India expanded their minds to new creative possibilities. While there, they wrote and composed a number of experimental tunes that would serve as the backbone of their 1968 self-titled album.
You laid it down for all to see. Sexy Sadie.
Popularly referred to as the White Album. Ostensibly there to experience some kind of divine enlightenment, John Lennon quickly had that illusion shattered. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the Beatles' spiritual advisor, was accused of making a pass at Mia Farrow, who was with the Beatles at their ashram in Rishikesh, India. The last song Lennon wrote in India, Sexy Sadie, details Lennon's disillusionment with the Maharishi, albeit with a pseudonym at George Harrison's suggestion.
Sexy Sadie, oh, you get yours yet. We gave her everything we own just to sit at her table.
Norwegian Wood, The Bird Has Flown.
I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me.
Possibly one of the most crucial pieces in the entire Beatles catalogue, this Rubber Soul fan favourite represents a creative high point for the Fab Four. Norwegian Wood finds the Beatles experimenting with a new sonic palette, featuring George Harrison's sitar playing and reportedly inspired by Bob Dylan's writing style. The song's lyrical content deals with a real-life affair, which found John Lennon cheating on his wife, Cynthia.
She's shown me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian Wood.
It's still unclear as to exactly who the song is about, as Lennon never disclosed that in his life. At least John didn't burn anyone's house down in reality. We think.
She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere.
Strawberry Fields Forever.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields.
Don't be fooled by this song's groundbreaking pioneering production and sound, or its opaque existentialist lyrics. It's actually inspired by John Lennon's childhood memories, particularly a residential childcare community called, you guessed it, Strawberry Field.
Living is easy with eyes closed.
Mimi Smith, Lennon's maternal aunt, remembered that, as a child, the future Beatle was fascinated by the Salvation Army brass band that would play Strawberry Field's annual garden party. Once again inspired by Lewis Carroll, as well as Hindu texts and ideas, Lennon wrote psychedelic lyrics that pined for a simpler, more innocent time, prior to the Beatles' explosion onto the global scene.
I think I know, yes, but it's all wrong. That is, I think I disagree.
A Day in the Life.
I read the news today, oh boy.
This probably goes without saying, but LSD was at least partially the inspiration for a great deal of the Beatles' late period output, but definitely not Lucy in the Sky. This was no less apparent than on A Day in the Life, the dramatic, ominous Sgt. Pepper's closing number. John Lennon and Paul McCartney worked eyeball to eyeball, as they often did, to contribute the song's individual sections, with Lennon composing the first and third sections and McCartney adding in its middle eight. The song's lyrical content was inspired by a series of news items that had struck Lennon, particularly the untimely death of Guinness heir Tara Brown and a Lancashire Telegraph article about potholes in Blackburn.
Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head.
Yesterday,
all my troubles seem so far away.
Paul McCartney is such a good songwriter that his best ideas come to him in his sleep. According to Macca, he dreamed of yesterday's melody at his then-girlfriend Jane Asher's house and rushed to the piano to play it as soon as he woke up. Unable to think of a good title, he simply called the composition Scrambled Eggs.
Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be.
McCartney tinkered with the song until the other Beatles had tired of hearing it and demanded that McCartney finish writing it or abandon it completely. According to Paul and John, they couldn't crack the song's lyrical content until Lennon, also having just woken up, suggested Yesterday. Good call.
Why she had to go, no, she wouldn't say.
Blackbird.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly.
It didn't happen often, but when the Beatles covered politics in their music, it was a sound that rang out for the ages. Such is the case with Blackbird, perhaps one of the most iconic and beloved Beatles compositions.
Blackbird fly into the light of a dark black night.
Paul McCartney has offered up a few different glimpses into what went into writing the song, with the most consistent being the then contemporary American civil rights movement. On that note, a blackbird should be taken to refer to a black girl, with the song as a whole describing a mass cultural awakening and liberation, acting as a message of solidarity from across the pond.
You were only waiting for this moment to be free.
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad.
If you know the first thing about Beatles lore, you'll pretty quickly learn that John Lennon probably could have been a better husband and father. Young Julian Lennon was obviously shaken by the news that his parents, John and Cynthia, would divorce following John's affair with Yoko Ono.
Then you begin to make it better.
Concerned for the younger Lennon's well-being, Paul McCartney went to visit Cynthia and Julian, dismayed at their sudden ejection from the group's lives. On the drive over, he composed Hey Jude. Originally titled Hey Jules, the song is a show of support to Julian, to let him know that despite his situation at the time, everything would, in time, be alright. Let It Be.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me.
Remember when we said that Paul McCartney could write music in his sleep? Let It Be is yet another reminder of that. The last single that the group put out before McCartney quit the Beatles, this simple, powerful, gospel-esque pop hymn was inspired by his mother, Mary.
For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see.
McCartney's mother, see where we're going with this, died in 1956. McCartney was only 14 at the time. Sharing that he felt very blessed to have that dream, Paul recalled that Mary had assured him that all would eventually work out. While the lads from Liverpool would soon disband, Let It Be stands as a shining, spiritual testament to their ability to capture listeners' hearts.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Which Beatles song hits you the hardest? Let us know in the comments below.
Yesterday.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.